What do you think people are going to be buzzing about? Let's go to the combine now. So as you head out there, and you're going to be out there for the next 5 days again, doing just endless hours of commentary on the combine, who are you most interested in?
Well, I mean, Susie, first of all, when I go to Indy, I've never felt shorter in my life. And I'm almost 5'2", so I'm pretty short in all situations. But when I descend upon the combine, it's just unbelievable. The height of these guys, it's like just a bunch of gladiators walking around, followed by nerds that are grading them. And let me be clear, I'm one of the nerds. I'm just not grading them. So it's just like polo shirts and pleated khaki pants all over Indianapolis, and then the players, obviously. So the draft, the overall consensus is that it's not like a really top end talent strong draft, but because of the experience in it, there's going to be a lot of rookie starters. The quarterbacks are not as strong as last year. We obviously saw 6 go in the first round, and that was an unbelievable amount of talent for quarterbacks. But this is going to be good for defensive line. It's going to be good for dynamic DBs. There's some good running backs, and there's some good wide receivers in this class too.
So as we look at the guys who are going to throw, because we know the list is fairly long of the guys who won't throw, we're looking at kind of Jackson Dart. We're looking at Milroe from Alabama. McCord, your Syracuse guy, right? Kyle McCord, who I think, yes, I believe, huh?
Yes, I like him a lot.
Your guy, what you like him a lot.
I do.
So does Jordan Palmer.
He does.
All right, so we can ask you about him in a second. Riley Leonard. We could talk about some of these guys. Are people like, what's the buzz potential on some of these guys? Because it just feels like you've got this row of elite quarterbacks. You've got this secondary group that's going to throw. And then you got everyone saying, well, no one's as good as they were last year anyway, so why are we bothering? Like, where do you sit in this one, Colleen?
Well, I always find it so funny because it kind of feels like the same thing every year. It's a little Groundhog's Day to me because every year we hear, I don't know, this draft, it's like, it's a little weak. It's not as strong as last year. Last year's draft class was blah, 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 blah. And then same thing with some of these top prospects. And then as soon as the combine happens, it's like, oh my God, so-and-so ran this 40, did so great. And all of a sudden, all of these prospects are top prospects. And this draft is deep and talented. And I kind of expect the same exact thing to happen. Maybe not so much with the quarterbacks, but maybe bumping up some other positions to that higher end of the first round. But I honestly just feel like every year you come in and it's the same thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know about these guys and the talent, but honestly, like talk to me next week and things will be different. And then as we get closer to the draft, it's just more and more.
Yeah, and Quinn Ewers, I should mention him because I think Rich is still having headaches over what he did to Michigan. At Michigan. I mean, Chris, you love Kyle.
Oh, Kyle McCord? Yeah, Jordan Palmer came in and detailed exactly why he should not be slept on. He should be a middle round pick and has a chance to really start in the league. Look, Colleen, you know this better than most. Every year there's like 60 quarterbacks who end up playing because guys get hurt, concussions, you miss a week here and there, and you're looking for that in the draft, and especially in these middle rounds. These college quarterbacks who have played 2, 3, 4 years. They have the experience, and they have the ability to come in and play right away, and you don't have to worry about them. They're not the Anthony Richardson project types. They have 40, 50 starts. Just look what Bo Nix did this year. They have all these starts under their belts, and they can come in and be productive right away, and that's what you're getting in. Quinn Ewers, Kyle McCord, Riley Leonard, that's what you're getting in these guys, and they should be highly sought after during this draft coming up.
Yeah, I think that anytime you have a quarterback that has experience over potential, like when GMs see the potential, it's almost like, oh my God, it's this like shiny new car. And of course you want it, but like, you're going to be parking it outside. Maybe it might get scratched. Like you kind of want to go with the thing that is absolutely like not certain, but you know that it's going to be reliable and you know that it's been in these situations before. Like the players that have these reps and the experience, they're the ones that come in and they can build upon the foundations that they already bring in. But really, it's such a crapshoot with the draft because so many things have to align, especially for the quarterback. You have to have the right coaches. You need to land in the right place with the right players around you. You need the right style of teaching. You need injury luck to play into it too. There's just so many things that have to go right. And so many times things go wrong. And then it comes back on the player and the GM. But really, it's just the situation wasn't great.
Colleen Wolfe joining us here on the Rich Eisen Show. Suzy Shuster in for Rich Eisen. What I love about the Combine are the surprises. I remember in 2006, Rich called me and he said, "Who is this kid Vernon Davis? Didn't you cover him at Maryland?" And I said, "Yeah, I had covered him for 2-3 years there." And he said to me, "He is exploding all over the Combine." And he came in and he lifted, he ran the shuttle. It was sick. I mean, he played himself up to the number 6 pick because people really didn't know who he was. Like the Terrapins weren't really registering. They hadn't been that good in the ACC that year. So who do you think will be somebody that might surprise people in this Combine?
Well, I don't know if people will be super surprised, but I do think that Will Johnson has a chance to run the fastest 40. And that's always the thing that everybody wants to see. Everyone wants to know. I mean, there are people sitting in the stands still with their own stopwatches, timing guys. I mean, this is like the marquee event for the Combine, and Will Johnson, nothing will raise your draft stock more than running the fastest 40 or running a 40 at least that people don't expect you to do. And conversely, if for a guy, speed is the question, like for someone, a wide receiver like Arian Smith, for instance, like he could really affect his draft stock if he ends up running well, because that's the question for him is the speed.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S. Search Rich Eisen Show on your Roku device for daily replays.